back to another Take the Lead podcast. I am your host, Tara Chantel. Thank you guys so much for joining another Bag Talk session. It's about to be a real intimate, spiritual talk that we about to talk. I have my great friend Jordan in the building.
What's up, ATL?
Man, you and Cincy going all the way. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce us.
Man, there's so much to tell. I don't want to go through a resume, but I'm going to just say, this is what I'm going to say on my heart. I'm just big on the 3 fundamentals of my life, so I try to live my life: health, wealth, spirituality, making sure all of those are good, all of those are solid. I'm big on fitness. I'm big on nutrition. Keep your vibrations up. I think we just are meant to have abundance. I think wealth is just not just monetary, just wealth in all areas of our life. And I know you believe that too. So we align there. And then spirituality, I just think you got to be connected to Source, the Most High. Get the best out of your life. And that's basically how I live my life.
And I love everything you believe in, from finance to health and spirituality. Those are the 3 core things that we must live by. But you know, we always be having like deep intellectual talks just about spiritual growth, just about what's going on in the world. So I can't wait to like just bring others into our lives and our space. And when we just be really just talking on an intimate level, man, how you feeling right now just during everything that's going on? I feel like they got us walking around with muzzles.
Just like that.
Man, just you don't be seeing people walking around with face masks by
you? yeah. I'm not an ATL though.
Oh yeah.
I see the face mask. I think it's all a control thing, but I don't know if we're going to dig deeper into that. That's a whole other topic.
Let's talk about it. Bring it up. It truly is making me uncomfortable.
What about it?
Just the way I can't breathe with the mask on.
Bruh, I literally can't. I'll panic. And the thing about it is, they thought we were going to work out with those masks on. They were trying to kill us, literally.
What? That don't even make sense. That's what I'm saying. It's a bigger agenda behind it.
For sure. The only thing I like, I'm not going to hold you. The only thing I like is I can talk to myself when I'm out in public.
Yo, I can't even smile at people, though. You know, that's my straight face. And I'm like, dang, you can't even see the smile.
Really? I forget. I'll forget. So it's just like you're staring at someone like.
That's how they want us.
Tara, when I tell you I was thinking about this yesterday, I was like, they're trying to make us rude. Because I was like, they're trying to make this a norm for us, so we're rude to people. I was thinking about that.
Literally, it's making us lose human connection. That's all for it.
Yes.
So just imagine that, like the way that they trying to keep us 6 feet. Now they don't want us to talk, breathe the same air.
I was really just thinking about that. I was like, this is crazy.
And I think it's going to get worse from here.
When do you think so? Like in the winter?
I know. I said, I just think we're just going to keep getting worse. It's just going to keep going downhill. And everybody's tweeting and saying, oh, 2021, we're going to be back at it. Nah, baby.
I think New Year's is going to be a whole party.
The switch, like, it's just going to be back to normal. No, they got us in it. I feel like this whole life is just a big joke.
I'm always thinking to myself, what's the point? Like always, I'm trying to just live it while I'm here because I'm here anyway. I might as well make the most of it. You don't think so?
Yeah, and that's how some people really feel that way. Like, oh, let me live it up. And people think like by living it up, that means they have to be materialistic. They have to like be in the strip club, popping bottles. That's their definition of living it up.
Yeah, living their best life.
Being drunk all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think that's a part of life. You know, but everybody's definition of as success is different. Definition of fun is different. So, but being in a club is not fun to me no more.
It's not fun to me either. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's honestly the Most High trying to keep me on track, honestly, because I don't really enjoy drinking that much. Don't really enjoy partying that much. I mean, on occasions.
Yeah, I realized like in the club it's very egotistical.
Like what, people just flashy?
Yeah, strictly for the ego, to stroke the ego. That's it, to stroke
That's
it.
everything. Social media, the biggest one of them all.
Oh my goodness. So how do you not get consumed in that?
How do you not get? Honestly, I struggle with it, but something that happened to me today. I don't. It might have been you who posted it. I'm not sure. Did you post a guy in the wheelchair?
No.
I guess some guy got shot by a cop. He was in a wheelchair, and I instantly, when I saw that, because sometimes I will be worried about social media, and when I instantly saw that, I was like, people are really struggling in real life, and I'm over here worried about social media. Like, no, like, I think we need to just disconnect and realize people are struggling in real life. They have real life problems. You should not be worrying about social media. It's not real. It's fake.
Literally
You know?
everybody's only showing the highlight reel and like what's really popping. Nobody's showing you that they are in debt right now, the demons they are fighting behind the scenes. Most of these people that are flashy and flexing are leasing. They don't have no ownership whatsoever.
I already know. They're not fooling me. I already know. The thing about it is, I'm so because you already know I'm passionate about finances. So when I see people who make $40,000 a year driving a $50,000 car, how does that make sense that your car is more than you make in a year? How does that make sense?
Well, why do we need that type of liability in order to keep up with the Joneses?
It's because they don't have it, which makes them feel like, oh, I need to look like I have it, you know? Because the people who have it, they're not worried about what you think, because they can look in their bank account right now and say, I
And
can buy
that's
what I
and that's just so unfortunate because Bill Gates and like the people who really got these big money, they be wearing the most simplest drip. They be
literally
having the lowest cars. You know, they're not even impressed by what black people be impressed off of.
talking about all this. Because Jeff Bezos, he was literally driving a 98 Honda and he had $1 billion. Or it was like a million. It was something crazy. It was like some millions or $1 billion. He was driving a 94 Honda. Like that's what they don't care about, none of that.
But why are we as a culture so driven off of the white labels? Like the Birkin bag is the newest bag that every black female got to have because the rapper be pumping it up. Then Gucci, we are so infatuated with these white labels, these white fashion name brands, to feel like that gives us some type of value.
Yeah, I ask people this all the time because I don't really relate. But some answers that I got, which I can understand why they think that way, it's just not something I think. But they're saying like we just weren't able to get it. You know, like I think it wasn't even 100 years ago, black people couldn't even own their own business. We had to work under the white man making what, minimum wage, if not even that. I don't even know if minimum wage was a thing, but say we're over here making $4 an hour, we can't afford any of that. So now that we finally are able to get it, it's like we want to get it. We want to make up for that time. But they're not really realizing, or we're not really realizing how that's going to affect our future, because we haven't seen a future where we can do like flex like this ever. We're just now living in that era where people are flexing with jewelry, cars, all that. We're going to see the repercussions though really soon. Like we're going to see them.
Yeah, and on a internal level though, because we're just so driven off of external belongings now, and we're losing our spirituality and our spiritual trust, because as black people we are spiritual beings, but we are so whitewashed and we have a white mind. We are just so lost in this world.
I mean, I think there's gonna be like a huge gap in like 10, 20 years. It's gonna be the people who were flexing and the people who were kind of more smart with their money. And you will see it, like a gap, like a disconnect.
Yeah, and I don't think nothing is wrong with being wise and frugal with temporary belongings, like temporary things that don't bring you pleasure. Just spending your money wisely, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
How you said, like, you're going to see a gap. You're going to see the people who actually were saving, investing, and putting their money up, while others was trying to keep up with social media because they got sucked into it. You gonna see it. I don't think nothing's wrong when you have to decline when your friends asking you to go out and be like, you know what? I got food at the house. I'm good. You know, I don't need to do that because I'm saving for my future. It's okay to save up.
I think about this a lot because I also am a point because I basically any extra money I invest it. I don't really buy much for myself, but I do want to also kind of because I'm just extreme with it, and I don't think it should be extreme as like I am. I think there should be a balance, and I kind of just now I'm realizing like I do not want to miss out on moments. Like I don't really need objects, I don't need materials, but I don't want to miss out on some moments that I will regret later. So I'm kind of choosing to spend my money if I have something I want to do with like friends, and I'll put my money that way. But yeah, everything else I basically invested.
To have experiences in this world, because that's the true meaning of it. Like we can't take none of this with us, so it's just like we're buying this stuff, like realizing that though. Wow, so we're so infatuated off of things we can't even take with us.
I don't know. I feel like I know they don't get full happiness from that, maybe temporarily. I don't know. I was just gonna say maybe it's just they're trying to, well, it's not, I think, I know they're just trying to fulfill it. Something else is missing, something else isn't there, and they're trying to fulfill it with temporary happiness. I mean, basically those people just have to find themselves, dig a little deeper.
Yeah, it's little hits of endorphins, those little kicks of high to get you feeling good. And but just the mindset though, when you do purchase something, your instant reaction is to show the gram. That doesn't make sense to me though. Like right when you hop out of a luxury store, you gotta take a picture of the bag, like just the cashier that you in the store. Wow. If you really got it, is it necessary? You don't have to show people that you got it if you really about it. And that's when you can tell the difference between like real and fake. I just don't even think it's necessary. Put everything on social media. What are you doing? What do you think the messaging is behind that?
I mean, social media is just show and tell. Like, I think that's just the trend, honestly. I think some people are just following the trend. It's show and tell. If you do something cool, I'm gonna show it just because he did, because she did.
It's like, yeah, we just keeping up or competing with each other, but 9 times out of 10 people don't want to see you happy. So you gonna have people like praying on your downfall, like
I realized that. I literally realized that. I think it's crazy.
So why would I show you like the good harvest and like even when the blessings didn't come? Like, why would I show? Because I know people's animosity and just the envious within themselves. That's gonna hurt me in the long run. Somebody can be just plotting on my life now because I'm just spilling all my beans. I'm spilling it all. Because you seen what happened to Pop Smoke. Like, that's a prime example.
It's a tough one. Because I always am understandable both sides. I think that's something like I'm happy I'm able to see. So I can always understand both sides. I'm always gonna have my side. So yeah, I don't really want to convince anyone of anything, just be able to open their eyes and see maybe what they're doing is negative.
Saying like being mindful of and before you post anything, what is your intentions behind it? Because I know the reason why I post things. I'm trying to inspire, motivate. What's your intentions behind that? That's all that I'm just trying to dig deeper.
People still get that twisted though. Like you'll literally just want to be a motivation and people think you're bragging and it's just like, you never win. I never win.
You really can. You really can, because off of social media, if you're putting anything on social media, but you're posting it on a public platform that people can share their opinion. So don't be mad when people got something to say.
Honestly, if you're gonna put yourself out there on social media, you just gotta be ready for it all. And like you tell people, speak your truth, live your truth, and God knows your heart. You know your heart, and that's all that matters. And the people close to you, I hope they know your heart. And if they don't, then they shouldn't be near you. They shouldn't be in your circle anyway.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate how you spoke about like dig a little deeper of why do you need these things to make you feel valuable, because they don't know their own heart. or they don't have a pure heart. How did you heal yourself? Just getting on an enlightenment level that you're on right now.
Oh man, I don't even know where I started, honestly. I want to say honestly, and I think you tweet a lot of things I can relate to, so I can just relate back.
Yeah.
You tweet about heartbreak one time. You said heartbreak makes you heal yourself. That is the truest thing. I just went through a crazy heartbreak maybe like 3 months ago, and I feel like that changed me for the best. And I'm glad I went through it this young, because I feel like if I would have lost someone I cared about like forever because of my mistake, I would be literally regret it forever. So I'm glad I went through it young. And yeah, I think there was a purpose for it. I literally have grown literally so much, and I don't know, like the heartbreak just made me realize, it just made me reflect. And I think when you are going through depression or sadness or heartbreak, it really just makes you reflect, or at least I hope so. So I think those are like of the biggest ways that people can start on their path to enlightenment, honestly. It's going to be through the suffering, because the suffering, basically like you're going to grow through the suffering. You're going to become strong through the suffering and come out 10 times better.
10 times. That's what I really believe. Pain pushes us through purpose like that. We have to go through some sort of pain. We have to get on rock bottom so we can get to the top. It's a part of it. Now we're going to appreciate things so much more better, and especially for the fruits of our labor as well. But yeah, them heartbreaks be real, man. Hey, I be protecting my heart nowadays. I ain't even trying to hold you.
I think this was my first one, to be honest. And it was rough. It was rough.
What'd you learn from it?
Every day I just try to improve myself too, because it's just like, I don't know. It just really made me reflect on myself and how can I be a better person? How can I make sure I never put someone through this again? Because it also made me feel some type of way. But it's like, how do they feel? I don't want to ever put someone through that.
Yeah, relationships is such a tricky thing sometimes. My biggest standoffish part about being in a relationship is a toxic relationship. I just noticed a lot of toxicity in the era that we're in. It's a lot of temporary relationships, and we giving ourselves so quickly to someone who is temporary.
You strong on that one, huh?
because I realize like we are made for just one person. We don't gotta test everybody out. Like what I mean by testing out, I mean by actually having sex with every single body. God will reveal people's characters just off of how they will speak to you, just how they would treat people and how they would treat you. But you got to take the blinders off, and you have to realize and see beyond the flesh what's really internal.
That's the hardest part, though. That's the hardest part. When you like someone, you don't want to see. You don't want to see their flaws. You know?
Yeah, that's why it's no rush. Honestly, it's like, what's the rush? If we are meant to do this life forever, oh, best believe let's take our time. We're gonna take our time.
Believe in multiple soulmates.
Multiple soulmates.
Yeah, you believe in that? Jada believes in it.
Who is Jada?
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, hey, they a whole different breed over there. They in Holly weird, okay? Holly weird.
If she was calling people her soulmate, I guess she called. I should have done my own research, but apparently Tupac, Will, right? August, maybe.
You know, when you got all that money, you can say whatever you want, for real. You honestly don't even understand the morals and the systematic beliefs behind their relationship, because they're not goals. And that's what I want us to realize. Like, these celebrities are not role models. These celebrities is nobody we should look up to. I don't follow not one celebrity. This whole quarantine reveals so much truth behind Hollywood and the celebrities out there. It's like we putting our, and of course, Black people, we put our hope and our faith on celebrities and want them to be our civil rights leaders when they don't belong to us. They're getting paid by the white man.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. I do agree with that. I did look up to, well, not look up to, I don't think that's a good term, but maybe not to the person, but like the actions I looked up some of the actions of some celebrities. Bringing it back to Will and Jada.
You want to
No,
still talking about
I
this?
watched. I dig deep into it. So if I'm unsure of my opinion on something, I'll dig deep into it.
Mhm.
So I dug deep into Will and Jada because I feel like there's a reason for everything. That's something I learned while going through my heartbreak. People act. There's a reason for people's actions. You
Mm.
don't necessarily like put up with it, but just know there's a reason that gives you some understanding, right?
Yeah.
So let's take that to Jada. I watched it. I don't remember. He was a therapist or something, PhD. And he basically broke down the whole video. He's never seen the video. He didn't know who August was. So he literally was just breaking down this video, didn't know anything about it, and basically was saying the reason for Jada's actions was her, like he believed was like a childhood experience, right? So I just think just a lesson to take because everyone was slut shaming her and calling her this, calling her that, calling her a cheater and this and that. It's like, did anyone take the time to realize the reason why she was acting that way is because she went through her own stuff when she was younger? I think we just need to grow an understanding for people's actions. I'm not saying she's right. I'm not saying she's wrong. But I'm just saying, if we just start to understand why she acted that way, we can look at it in a different light,
Mm. Yeah, it's so unfortunate that a lot of people have been molested when they were kids, and now they are very promiscuous now. A
Yeah.
lot of women that are promoting this prostitution lifestyle, that are in love with their sexual activities and just love being sexual, it's because they've been touched. It's because they've been molested. Yo, you gotta watch this. It's a YouTube channel, underline belly, I believe. And he interviews prostitutes. He interviews homeless
I
people.
think I see some clips of it.
Yo, it all stems from people touching them, their family members touching them. They've been molested, touching them. Our Black families are so broken and so hurt, and we mess up the child's life. We mess up the child's life. We expect them to be a normal adult and forget about what hurt that we have done to them when they were a child, and then they end up like this. And then no wonder why they carry themselves in this world as in such a way. But it all stems from how they were raised and how they were dealt with as a child.
I didn't even would think to put the two together.
And just imagine that though, because now, especially with the music and the virtual learning, parents not truly raising their kids, they're letting social media and not being fully active in the child's life. A lot of young parents are so invested in social media, they're babysitting their kid. They're not raising their kid. Let's keep it real. Talking about truly just the music and just the power of what's going on in the kid's life. The kids are the future. I'm worried about the kids.
Yeah.
I'm worried about these parents that are having these kids not raising their kids properly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
You passionate about it. So I need you to implement something.
What you mean by that?
I need you to implement something since you're so passionate about it.
What do you mean by implement?
A project.
Off rip. We got things in the work. Best believe that's why I'm not so interested in having my own kids, because I'm focused on the kids on this planet right now. We got so many baby kids running around here that are not getting the attention that they need. So why am I going to be selfish and want kids of my own just for them to come out of me when I need to take care of the kids that are here that don't got the love that they deserve?
I think I don't really want to have kids right now in this area though, to be honest. I just don't like this era right now. Like, I do feel like social media is just too influential, and I wouldn't want my kid, because I know I couldn't stop them. If I stopped them at home, they'd go to school and do it. They go to their friends and do it. Whatever they're doing, I don't know. I just don't like the social media right now. Did you see that thing on it was like a couple years ago, and they did AI. Do you know what AI is? Like artificial intelligence.
Ooh, speak more about artificial intelligence. I keep hearing that.
Have you seen iRobot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So Sonny, he was able to think for himself. He was created, but he could still think for himself. He could fix himself. Like the robots that we have now can't do that. Like if our computer got a virus, our computer can't fix itself. But if our computer had AI, it would literally be able to fix itself. It would know where the virus is and could fix itself. There, a couple years back, I guess Twitter came out with like an AI bot and let it get its own account. They said within 1 hour it was saying racial slurs. It was became a political party. It was, yes. And what, you know how it learned? Anything that it tweeted or anything that was trending, that's what it started to think. And it just kept thinking. So that just shows what these kids are getting exposed to. Racial slurs, what political party, how to think. It was just madness. But yeah, it was tweeting people, talking crazy. Yeah, and they had to shut it down. It got that bad.
They had to shut that down.
Yeah.
Just imagine off of like TikTok, because it was started with kids. And I was seeing so many little racial white kids just talking about nigger this, nigger that. I said, so just imagine we're not actually monitoring our kids, taking full advantage over our kids. Like we give them a little bit of space, but that's a lot of responsibility. I would have to be underneath my kid every move. And I'm like, so what's the right age, the appropriate age to let them have social media, to have a phone? And then now, if you have a kid, you're gonna have to vaccine your kid with all that. No telling what's in the vaccine.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
And then you got these little kids walking around with face masks. They don't know what the heck going on. Po babies. I'm just like, po baby.
Do you believe in the vaccines? The vaccination?
I'm not gonna take it. Man-made. What?
I should have did research on this because I don't want to spread false info. Dang, I should have did research. I'm gonna do research and get back because I have something that's, if it's true, then it's crazy.
What?
Okay, so look, I haven't done research on this, so I'm gonna just put that out there. So
Yeah.
we were listening to a podcast, and he was saying that I think it was either the measles or the mumps. That was the quickest they've ever brought out a vaccination, right? And that took 4 years. The quickest they've ever created a vaccination was 4 years. This coronavirus vaccine didn't come out in like 6 months. How do you go from 4 years to 6 months? I don't even add up. Y'all been planning this. Y'all been add up.
All this is a systematic approach to keep us oppressed, to keep us under control. This was all planned. Every last one of these things is planned. It's just so unfortunate because this is how I know I have to create my own lane, because they're going to implement taking vaccines if you want to go out of the country, if you want to work at a job, if you want to go to school, you got to take this. And I said, oh no, that is control.
Yeah, literally.
That doesn't even sound right to me. So what if you just pop out with a tail? But I feel like everything, and you're big on health, we can heal ourselves. Our ancestors didn't have no vaccine.
No, they don't know that.
Of course, all this artificial everything, even in the food that they put in there. That's what I'm saying. This is just getting out of control.
The thing about it is we wouldn't need to heal ourselves if man didn't make the diseases in the first place. Like, we shouldn't even need to do all that.
They really trying to kill us any way possible, but they can't take us out. It's like the police, these diseases, racism, just stressing us out, putting crack in the hoods. Like, the list keeps going. Like, but you can't take us out.
Yeah, for real. Are you conspiracy theorist?
I just believe the truth. I mean, I don't know if a conspiracy theorist is believing the truth. I feel like we're not the ones that are conspiracy theorists, because this is just factual information that is presented to us, and we just don't fall in line. We're not following a suit of what they try to feed us lies. The government feeds us lies on a day-to-day basis, and we forgive them left to right. And then we be wanting these politicians to save us. All they are brand ambassadors for the government. They just represent them. They not in full control. They can't save us. Of course, everybody's happy about this Democratic Party, and I'm just like, what's your thoughts on that? Because I'm not even in politics.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not big on politics at all.
So we got a black woman, but her husband not black, so that don't represent me.
What's her husband?
White.
No way.
Literally. I said, no wonder why they putting her in the office.
I didn't know that.
Yo, when I seen that, I said, really? Okay. I'm not even about to even entertain this. Nothing to entertain here.
Yeah, I'm not big on politics. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you think they can save us?
It's a different face, the same agenda.
Literally. So are you voting? What do you think about voting?
My mom makes me vote.
But your mom hold a gun up to your head. You better go out there.
No,
I went to the voting registration setup meeting office booth like a couple months back. I was so confused. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know their background. I'm like, check.
all they cared about was if it had Democratic in parentheses or Republican.
Literally. But now just doing research, and I'm like, Democratic is not even for us either. Like, it's like no party is for us. Yeah, I feel like we got to create our own party.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what people have been telling me, or I've been seeing around that if you take my friend actually did like a Democrat and Republican like a test and gave it to his parents. It was like, hey guys, take this test. I guess they're Democratic, but he said when he looked at the test results, they were voting Republican.
See, we don't even know. I guess down the lines, like our parents were just told Black people are Democrats. I guess that's what it is.
That's what it was.
It's going down the line, but then now that I'm just able and an adult, just doing my research, and I'm like, wow, they don't have our best interests either.
I feel like ever since Abraham Lincoln, they're like, yep, Democratic.
This world, though, the way it's set up is just so wicked and so corrupt. And I feel like we just got to keep the faith and our spirituality on point.
That's the only thing you can do, really. Just keep you at peace, too.
How you keep your spirituality up?
The biggest thing, I promise you this is the biggest thing. And this ties into basically everything that you were talking about, that we were talking about. What you're consuming. Literally what you're consuming. Because I feel like people don't know, but I think it was 98%. I should have looked up my numbers, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 90 to 98% of our thoughts and what we attract is from our subconscious, meaning we're not thinking of it. So when you're thinking of something, you know you're thinking about it. Subconscious means you don't even know. That's 90 to 98% of our thoughts. So if you're consuming, like you said, the WAP song by Cardi and Meg, guess what your subconscious is thinking about all day?
That what?
Yeah, like WAP. That's what your subconscious is like. I can't wait to get to my boyfriend. I can't wait to get to my little side chick. Like that's what you're thinking about all day. You don't even know it.
All the mind is being consumed up is with sex, and it's very shallow. The world that we are living in is so shallow-minded. I had to stop listening to the mainstream music. I stopped watching TV. I don't consume myself in the media. And now I feel like I have more wisdom within me. My mind is not clouded. And that's why when I be seeing everybody dance to this song, when I'm seeing how this song is having an effect over the whole culture, first of all, this song, it was not a right time to put this out. And then I'm so tired of hearing women trying to stick up for this nonsense. Well, men do it. That don't make it right either. What, we can't keep having battle of the sexes here.
Exactly.
We're not going to get nowhere if we continue to have this battle and continue to promote this nonsense and just pay it mind and give it attention. Of course, we got to speak on it and talk about it, but just being aware of how it is powerful. And just, I feel bad for the kids, man.
With the young parents that listen to it.
The kids, because they are singing this and not even being aware, but it sounds to me as if all the music that is out here that women are rapping about is prostitution. It's a prostitution anthem. Like, is that all you can talk about, is what you got underneath your pants?
Yeah, and you know the crazy thing, because I just found out what Meg looked like 3 weeks ago. I didn't even know what she looked like. But you know how I could tell anytime someone played her in the car, if she was talking about sex or you know, the girl parts or sexual positions, I said, is this Meg? Yeah, of course it is, because that's all she talks about.
Being mindful of that, because you are aware of the conscious mind, but you see our peers that are consuming in this music, consuming in the media, consuming in the entertainment that doesn't fuel you and benefit you whatsoever. It honestly dumbs you down. What's your thoughts behind that?
What's my thoughts behind people who listen to this?
That is just not conscious and that is not aware of the impact it is creating on their life.
See, the thing about it is I feel like they do know, but they just don't. And another thing I will say, benefit of the doubt, is it's also addicting. So like I typically either listen to a podcast or like old school music, because old school is more, I just feel like it's not as bad on my vibrations and my conscious, because they're talking about one person instead of, you know, doing all these people and doing this and that. But the only songs I listen to that are like singles or like popular are songs with a good beat. So, and it's addicting. I'm not gonna lie, the beats are addicting to me. And so sometimes I will have to just ignore the words, but little do we know that it's still getting in our subconscious, regardless if you just like it for the beat or not. So I feel like if you don't know that, then now you know, like it's still getting your subconscious. But I feel like the people who do kind of know, it's just addicting, and it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna listen to my music, you know.
And that is just a form of escapism. You are escaping from your truth and your reality, because it's pushing you further and further away from your truest and your highest self and on your path to enlightenment, honestly. And how you said, people do know, but they're choosing not to do what is right. A lot of people don't want to do the right thing and live a righteous way. They want to do what is wrong because of the ego. This is all driven off of the ego. And that's where I want to hit on, like, just being detached from all of this. That's why I'm not consumed in what's going on and being so worldly, because I'm not attached to none of this mess that's going on.
So how did you get detached though? If like someone who's addicted to music, junk food, sex, how do you get detached from this addiction? Because I feel like it is an addiction. I don't think people purposely, you know, consuming the worldly desires.
Yeah, it starts with acknowledging it. And then I will go off of having the discipline to tackle the urges that comes about. Rather, you got to stay out the club for a little bit, because that's where it started with me, because I was a club hopper. I was about that club life. I used to be able to party and then wake up early in the morning to go to work. I was a functional alcoholic, to be honest. Being away from that lifestyle, because then I realized how demonic, just how dark the club life. You are meant to just have sex, get drunk, show off, and not be your enlightened self. And you can't have a conversation in the club. And that's what I like to do. I like to have an intimate conversation. I can't do that in the club. We listening to the WAP music. We listen to the sex music. And that's what gets us going. So I feel like once you eliminate those distractions and change your environment, change your circle, it's going to be much easier to wrap around this world and not being so consumed of this world and just be in it and being just conscious and aware of the powers when the devil tries to come your way, because the devil comes in through people, through things, through materialism, and just being aware and having that self-control and that self-discipline. Because once you master self, you can master all things.
For sure. So you lost friends? You lost good friends when you did this?
Obviously they probably wasn't real friends if I lost them. So I feel like God will separate you to elevate you. And that's where it has to be. You have to be able to let things go and let people go so you can get to your highest level. But if you're going to continue to hold on to people that hurt you, hold on to things that's not good for you, hold on to bad habits, then God can never work on you and work through you and pour blessings on your life because you're being disobedient. You got to get obedient.
Yeah.
For real. Just being aware of that detachment is so crazy because I really don't know what's going on like in the media because I don't watch TV. Watch no entertainment. It's only education.
That's
You got to
awesome.
educate me out here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's how I am for the most part because honestly, these shows are boring to me. Yeah, I don't binge watch shows. People love to binge watch. That bores me. I get bored after the first maybe 2 hours.
Yes, and I hear that people, do that. It's really off of escapism, man. Everything is just trying to get you escape from your reality. That's why people binge watch. That's why people feed into entertainment and watching these reality shows that are really trying to dumb you down. Just imagine once you just realize like the toxic activity that they play in these reality shows. They arguing all the time. That's not normal to me that you have to argue to get your point across. You got to use your fists to talk to people. That's not okay to me. And we got people out here believing that's love, believing that's normal. That's a normal way to communicate, and believing that all men cheat because that's what they represent on TV.
I like that though. I do. I think when I watch TV, it just distracts me. I think the whole day shifts. Like it just ruins. I feel like when I get off my like I don't want to say path, but I guess I could say path just for the sake. I feel like if I get off my path in any way, I feel like it just shifts the whole like sequence.
Yeah.
Like I can't just do this and then get right back like I'm okay. Like it really just shifts it. When I stay on track for everything, that's when everything just comes together and works together.
And you said before, like, some of this stuff don't match your frequency. And that's power when you're able to be aware of your frequency and being on a high frequency and just being high on life.
Yeah, everyone has the ability. Everyone has the ability, and you're gonna know too. You just feel good too. It's just a different feeling.
Yeah, and it's crazy because being on a low frequency, people feel like they have to go to drugs to get on that high in order to feel that blissfulness that you're feeling on a day-to-day basis.
Yes. That's actually another thing that when I was going through my heartbreak, I say for like a week I did lean to like maybe drinking a little bit, but then I realized like this is not me and I don't need this. I ended up having a conversation with my friend and she was basically like, maybe you can handle things better than me. I said, no, I'm human just like you. I feel the same pain of you, if not worse. I'm going through it. I'm depressed. I'm heartbroken. I'm this and that. But I can get through this naturally. Like I don't need this to help me get through it. And it's only gonna make me stronger if I get through it naturally. You embrace it. And that's another thing. Another thing is we don't embrace feelings. We don't embrace emotions. It's kind of like you were saying, like we're not our thoughts pop in our head. That's not us. We're not really thinking that. Just like emotions, your emotions come and go. If you get angry, do not act up that anger. It's gonna be gone in 5 minutes. It's not you, you know?
Yes.
Depression is not you, it will be gone. Like depression may last a little bit longer, but as long as you know you're gonna get through it, it's not you. Like just embrace this, allow it to help you grow, you know? And just get through that.
And that's when you got to be aware of your feelings and have that emotional intelligence.
We lack that. This generation lacks emotional intelligence.
Yes, that's why people feel like they gotta yell in order to get their point across. They feel like they gotta bust out windows when they're mad. But being in control of your feelings, that's a whole nother type of flex, man. When you're able to handle depression, anxiety, and not go towards drugs and get that pain and realize you're human, You can get through it and conquer it and not try to numb the pain by lowering your frequency level, because it's a part of life. Deaths are a part of life. Heartbreaks are a part of life. Losing jobs, losing money, this is a part of life. But if you are not able to handle the hardships that are thrown your way, then you are going to be mentally drained out here and mentally weak. You got to be mentally strong. That's the best weapon, because it's either you can be in war with the world or in war with yourself. And I'd rather be in war with the world than be in war with myself.
I think that's just huge, though. I think emotional intelligence, I think if we gain emotional intelligence, it would just change the game completely.
How should we gain emotional intelligence?
You're asking these hard questions. I'm going to give my answer, then I'm going to pass it back, and I want you to give your answer.
Alley-oop, yes.
All right, for me, let's see. Gaining emotional intelligence. I think it just goes back to what I was consuming. I'm consuming videos that are going to help me grow, that are going to help me realize my faults, help me realize what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. You know, journaling. Journaling is huge. And I think journaling also just makes you rewind the day so you can see what could I have done differently. So next time when you face a situation, you know. I'm really big on, if I make a mistake in my day-to-day interactions, I will literally reflect on what I could have did better. And I think that's a huge thing. You're gonna make mistakes. I'm human, you're human, we're all human. You're gonna get angry. You might say things you don't mean, but you just need to reflect on it. And I think the biggest thing is reflecting. A lot of people don't even realize what they're doing wrong. So you're right. Being conscious is a big thing. I think I really honestly think it all boils down to, what are you consuming? Who are you listening to? Who are you around? Who are you talking to? That's the only way that you're gonna realize, you know, what your faults are and how to fix them.
Yeah, when you change your circle, you change your life. When you change your environment, you change your life. Yeah, and that's what I realized. Like, I can only control what I can control, and I can control myself and how I react to things. So sometimes I may need to take a pause before I say things that are not godly, you know, when I get tried and when I get tested, in which we all are going to get tested out here to see if we are spiritually equipped to conquer everything that is thrown our way. But it's okay to just focus on what you can control. You can't try to tell people what to do. I'm really big on leading by example and leading the way and just trying to be a better person, not the bigger person. I'm gonna just be the better person in this situation, because in the end of the day, I got things to lose. A lot of people don't got things to lose because they don't know their purpose and they don't know their calling, that they were placed here. So when you understand your calling here, you gonna move different. When you are purpose driven, you gonna watch how you steer. So that means you can't interact with low frequencies. You can't even dumb yourself down to even go back and forth with a dummy, because then you're going to look like a dummy too. So you're going to have to outsmart the opponent every chance you get. This is chess, not checkers. And once you understand this is a game, only the strong will survive. So you have to be mindful of this game that they will try to play with you. And you can be a controller out here. People going to push your buttons and try to control you. But you got to be the controller of your own game, so people don't be controlling you and controlling your move.
Right.
And that's a whole nother level of happiness, controlling your own happiness within yourself, because you already happy within. You don't need going back off of external things to make you happy. You already good internal. Take that time to heal. Y'all. That's real. Because once I took my time to heal, now I'm able to deal.
Oh. What you doing?
I'm just deal with all this mess, deal with all this chaos that's going on.
For sure.
Man, this was great, Jordan.
Can we get a weekly segment up in here? Somebody to let us know. Should we get a weekly segment?
All right, we need to get online with it. Let the people talk. But that was great, man.
We need to get a weekly segment. No cap.
But Jordan, leave us off with some wisdom of the art of detachment.
The art of detachment. Let's see some words for y'all. She putting me on the spot.
Leave us off with that wisdom.
I'm just gonna leave y'all off with, when you know kind of what she said, if you know your purpose, it's just all the extra that doesn't mean anything to you. You focus on the right thing, you have your heart in the right place, you focusing on yourself. Once you pour into yourself, once you love yourself, you pour into others. And then that's all that matters. All that extra stuff doesn't matter, you know? So that's all I got.
Man, that's all I got. You tapping out.
I'm gonna tag you in. I'm gonna tag you in. What?
Tag me in. Yes, I believe once we really focus, the art of self-love is so huge, because once we identified that, and especially in our era right now, and I'm glad we're normalizing self-love, because it's necessary. It's so necessary, instead of trying to give our love to all different directions, to all different people, and just give it to yourself. It's not necessarily means you got to be selfish, but you can't pour out of an empty glass. So you got to fill yourself up first before you pour into others, before you even are beneficial to anybody else's life. So being mindful of that and being an asset to people's life and adding value is so necessary. And I appreciate you for adding so much value on this talk, man.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for having me on. Gotta get this session going.
I love you so much, man.
I appreciate you.
First, let me just thank everybody so much for tuning in to another Take the Lead podcast. That bag talk session was dropped. Stay tuned. And we're going to catch you at the top.